Welcome back everyone. The Golden State Warriors are in unfamiliar territory, as they're hovering around 500 even with their big three finally being healthy. Now they of course have plenty of time to change that, but many believe they could use a trade to help them get there, and one that would involve former number 2 overall draft pick James Wiseman. At this point, a majority of fans have grown tired with waiting for him. Despite only being 21 years old, he has not shown the growth that many of his peers have. And between reoccurring injuries, along with never really fitting in the rotation even when he is healthy, there is a growing argument for him to be traded. On one hand, he will only continue to lose value if they cannot find a role for him, and the longer they wait, the less they can hope to get in return for him. And for a team with a potentially closing championship window like they have, that is something they need to consider doing, as they cannot afford to waste the remaining prime of Steph Curry. On the other hand though, if they were to trade James Wiseman, and then he immediately looks better on a different team, then they would look pretty foolish. I mean, he has already taken a pretty big hit in trade value, so they need to be sure that he will never fit with them before trading him, which is never an easy thing to figure out. With all of that being said though, there are definitely trades they can make involving him, and ones that would very likely give them a better chance of defending their title. So in today's video, we are going to take a look at 3 trades they can make involving James Wiseman, and then what they might be able to get in return for him. Before we do that though, I would like to invite all of you to join our NBA Discord. If you enjoy having NBA discussion, being updated on NBA news, or chatting with others during live games, then I guarantee you would enjoy it. Without further ado though, let's dive right into it. And before we begin making trades, we need to briefly talk about their biggest needs. And in my opinion, they have an obvious need for more reliable frontcourt depth, could use one more shot creator within their rotation, and then would benefit by having a more productive bench unit. With all of that in mind though, now moving on to trade number 1, and here we have a deal with the Orlando Magic, which would include Wiseman being dealt to Orlando, and then Bamba, along with a first round draft pick from the Chicago Bulls coming to Golden State. The Orlando Magic are clearly in a rebuild, and despite them having Wendell Carter Jr., they might be interested in buying low on James Wiseman. And then for Golden State, Bamba would be a much better option for them right now. In fact, he is in many ways what they want Wiseman to eventually become, with that being a great rim protector, a reliable lob threat, and then an above average 3-point shooter, all of which Bamba could provide them with. Now, he unfortunately would not fit their switch on everything style of defense, but he would be the best rim protector they've had in quite a while now, and depending on their matchup, that could be very valuable to them come playoff time. And then all he would be asked to do on offense would be catching lobs, along with knocking down the occasional 3, which he definitely can do. Bamba is currently shooting over 38% from beyond the arc, and while he might not have the ceiling that Wiseman does, you can argue that Bamba has plenty of untapped potential, and if what they did with Andrew Wiggins can be comparable, they could help Bamba become a better all-around player. The final benefit here could be getting a first-round draft pick along with them. Now, they would not be able to get Orlando's pick, but they might be able to get the one the Magic own from Chicago, or the one they own from Denver in 2025. But now moving on to trade number 2, and here we have a potential deal with the Washington Wizards, which could really be for a couple of different players. They have reportedly made both Rui Hachimura and Kyle Kuzma available for the right price, and while Hachimura would definitely be a bit cheaper, Kuzma would provide them with more upside. And if they were to trade for Kyle Kuzma, a deal could look something like including James Wiseman and JaMychal Green for Kuzma, along with a second round draft pick or 2. He would certainly provide them with more offense, and would be a good fit for their small ball lineup, where he could play at power forward next to Draymond Green at center. However, if Golden State is worried about having to pay him, as they are already deep in the luxury tax to begin with, then they might be better off going in a different direction. But now moving on to our third and final trade, and here we have a deal with the Charlotte Hornets, which would involve trading James Wiseman for Mason Plumlee, Jalen McDaniels, and a protected future first-round draft pick. Now, they could theoretically go after PJ Washington rather than Mason Plumlee, but they would not be able to retain both him and McDaniels during the offseason, as they will both be looking for new contracts. And although Plumlee might not be as impactful compared to PJ Washington, he would still be a very good fit for their team. He is a great rebounder, a solid lob threat, an underrated passer, and then most importantly, a very good screener. That might not sound that important, but that is pretty much a requirement for a center to play in the Warriors system. They absolutely thrive with big men who set good screens, and then especially with those who have high IQs. And that would pretty much be the perfect way to describe Mason Plumlee. He is not particularly flashy, but he does all the little things that Golden State values. And then for Jalen McDaniels, he would be an absolute luxury for them to have, an incredibly versatile defender, and then a fairly reliable offensive player. He would be a great fit for their team. I can already imagine a front court of Andrew Wiggins, Jalen McDaniels, and Draymond Green wreaking havoc on defense, and then pair them with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson on offense, and you have a very deadly combination. To wrap everything up here though, if Golden State is thinking about trading James Wiseman, then I would recommend they go after a trade that fills one of, if not multiple, of their remaining needs. And I think these 3 trades would do that. With all of that being said though, what do you guys think? Do you think the Warriors should trade James Wiseman? And if you do, who do you think they should trade him for? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.